Hey, what's going on, friends? Coach Legis here of Bloody Lifestyle from Money Hero Body, and welcome to today's Mentorship Monday. I'm hanging out with my boy, Grammy. Want to say hi? Oh, he's a little scary cat right now because there's a thunderstorm, a little rain outside, so he's a little bit freaking out right now, right, buddy? You a little freak out? It's okay. He literally just lies down in my legs. So he'll be chilling with us here. All right, guys, so I'm giving you a couple seconds to join our live. I see more and more people join in. Whoever's watching guys live, welcome in, or you're watching on replay. I know my Modern Here community, my VIP clients will be watching whether online right now or on replay, guys. I highly recommend for you to check it out. We're gonna talk today about something, and you saw the name of today's live. You gotta kill the old you, right? Because I see it more and more, pretty much on an everyday basis, right? Everyday life that I talk to my clients, I ask them questions, and everyone, that's why I'm doing this mentorship. Monday's calls to work on the mindset, right? So to work on your mindset, because we always slip, no matter what, we always slip to the old habits. And a lot of my clients asking like, Vlad, I really want to change, I want to build up new version of me. I want to get in the best shape possible. But I'm always slipping back to the old me, to the old habits. And let me know if you can relate. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to this. But yeah, I'm like, what to do if I'm always slipping back to that old version of me? And we're gonna talk, guys, today about something much deeper than just workouts or nutrition. We're gonna talk today about your identity, right? It's about shifting your identity. I always say it's not about, when you stop doing you're forcing yourself. It's when you stop doing something that you have to do on a daily basis. I have to work out, I have to eat right. And that just becomes part of your identity, becomes a part of who you are. Now what you do, that's when the real shift happens. And I'm gonna break it down for you right now into a couple of course actionable steps, pieces, and I'm gonna give you some homework, so stick till the end. So let me know if you can relate, or if you heard, something like, let's say, like I said, a lot of my clients always telling me like, hey man, I'm always slipping back to the old me. And let's pretend this, guys, right? Imagine you wake up tomorrow, or anyone who, let's say broke person, that's why we see it all the time, let's say broke person wakes up with $1 million overnight, you win lottery, and a lot of those people usually go back to the old habits. They blew that money overnight, they just buy some dumb stuff, on that money, or they just go to Vegas, or, buying some stuff for their family, and that's it, it's gone overnight, just poof, like that. The same I'm saying, imagine overweight or obese person wakes up next morning with a six-pack. Imagine that. You wake up with a six-pack, but right now you're definitely not in the best shape, you're not metabolically healthy. So what is gonna happen? You're gonna lose those abs in the next 2 to 4 weeks. I can bet on it. The same with money. If you're a broke person, but if poor person, you wake up with $1 million, you're gonna blow that money because you don't have the identity who can pull this off. You don't have identity to manage that money. You don't have systems, right? You don't have skills, you don't have the right mindset for that money. So what was going to happen, you're just going to blow it off overnight. Or the same with your body. Imagine if you wake up, you're overweight person, you're obese person, or you're out of shape person, doesn't matter. Like even if you're a little bit out of shape, but you don't have the right skills, you don't have the right set of habits, you don't have right mindset, you don't have that identity to be that person, to keep the six packs. If you want to wake up tomorrow with six packs, you're going to lose it in the next month or two. I can promise that to you, because you're not shifted your identity yet, right? But there's the good news, right? There's definitely the light in the end of the tunnel. So we're going to talk, of course, I'll give you some actionable steps. But first, I want you to just realize, yes, so you got to shift your identity, guys. Think about this. We're going to give you a super simple example. Everyone can relate to that driving, right? When you start learning to drive, it's scary, right? It's scary. You sit down, there's so million things have to do. You're like putting the seatbelt, you have to check all the mirrors, your hands on 10 and 10. You paying attention to every single things. But when it's become a habit, when you put in reps, you don't give up, like after the first couple lessons. I mean, I know some people does, but most people never give up right after the first few lessons, and they just keep practicing until pretty much after a couple of years, and it's gonna take time. Exactly. It's not like, just you take 2 lessons and you're perfect driver. It takes years and years, to build that habit, and it just becomes on autopilot for you. Right now, when I'm driving, like I started driving pretty late. A lot of people I know start driving in the US when they're 16 years old. I started driving when I was like 24, 25, about just 7 years ago. I never had car in my teens. I never even had car. I bought my first car for my own money in US when I was already like 24, 25 when I moved to Florida. Yeah, about like 25, seriously. Never drove before that. And in New York, I took a couple lessons. I really wanted so bad driver license. So it was great for me just to have ID. Not even for driving. I didn't care about driving back in New York, but everyone told me in New York that you have to have driver license because, it's for everything. I was already over 21, so I can buy a drink, if I want it. ID is just everywhere. They check your ID. So, of course, I started taking some lessons in New York. And that was so scary. I would mess up, I would check every red light. I would just mess up. I remember I blew my first exam completely when I literally had to drive, into the left lane, and supposed to be the green light, to the left, to turn left. And I was so freaked out with the person next to me, right, with the examiner, that I went on red, seriously. And she was like, immediately, all right, that's it, make a U-turn. So I freaked out so hard. I didn't have the right habits, right? So I'm just sitting down, I'm checking everything. There's cars driving towards me, on the left lane, opposite way. And I'm waiting kind of for that red, but I was so freaked out for the green. I'm waiting for the green, so I was so freaked out. So I literally just drove on the red, and she put the brake, and she's like, what the heck are you doing? Seriously, okay, make a U-turn. We're done here, sir. So that's how bad I had to take several exams in order to pass the driver license test, okay? So that's crazy looking back. Yeah, right now I drive on autopilot. 7 years later, it just becomes part of me. Like I can be so deep in my thoughts. Sometimes I'm driving. I can be like somewhere like 10 levels, like Inception movie. I can be 10 levels deep in my, thinking about something, about my day, about something else. And I'm driving. I'm not even paying attention, That's how it becomes just part of me, part of my identity. The same with healthy lifestyle. The same with the getting fit, If you give up, 2, 3, 4 months into this, it might not happen that fast. A lot of my clients, 3 months, to 1 month, 3 months, even 6 months in the program, they're like, why I'm not in the perfect shape yet? Why I'm kind of stuck? I'm like, because you're not shifted your identity yet. And it takes time. You didn't gain all of that weight overnight. So they will take some time to shift your identity, right? It will take, for some people, takes a couple months, to shift the identity if they really want it. For some people, it will take 3, 6, a year, even over a year, couple of years to shift your identity. For everyone, it's different. The same with the driving. Some people learn really quick, in just month. For me, it took months and months. Like I said, I failed 3 tests. I failed 3 tests in New York on the exam, I was so pissed because each exam was like $300. So I had to pay those fees, to take exam every single time. I took a test, the learning test was really quick, actually got that right because it's just theory. But the practice, the driving itself, I was taking classes, I was working with a guy, sitting next to me, who was teaching me, and still took me forever, months and months, until I passed the test. So why the heck, I want to ask you, why you give up on yourself after just few months of trying, completely shifting your identity and completely becoming a new person, right? Imagine, you got to shift your identity completely, It's not when you do something, just when you force yourself. I want you to realize that all of this, when you shift your identity, guys, to keep healthy, sustainable habits for the rest of your life, it will take time. Realize that, okay? It will take month and month maybe of progress, stepping back, slipping back in the old you in order to build the 2.0 version of you. You will always, it's just inevitable. It's just part of the process. It's inevitable that you're going to go back to the old habits here and there. Right? You're always going back to the old habits, but you gotta bounce back and you move forward. So, like I said, if you don't have the right habits, you wake up with 6-pack, you're gonna lose it. If you don't have the right systems, you don't have the right mindset, you don't have the right habits, you wake up with $1 million in your bank account, you're gonna blow it, sooner or later. You're not gonna double that. You're just gonna blow it off, and that's it. You're gonna be back to broke. So same here, guys. It will take time to build the new habits. It will take time to shift your identity. But you gotta work towards it, right? And don't give up on yourself. A lot of people are like, I guess I'm fine, I cannot do it anymore. I've been trying for a couple months, I've been overweight, or out of shape for the last 10 years. And I've tried it for 2-3 months, to shift my identity or like to get in shape, and it's not working. No, keep trying, keep putting work. As long as you're putting one foot in front of the other, then you're gonna keep moving forward. Like I said, we all fall back, we all slip into old habits, but it's all about, bounce back quick, catch yourself. First of all, you gotta catch yourself in that old habit. You gotta bounce back quick and move forward. All right? I hope that makes sense for now. Right now, give me a thumbs up, give me any highlights, guys, so far in the comments. Whoever's watching it right now, guys, we stick for a couple more minutes. I'm gonna give you actionable steps. We're gonna wrap it up with the actionable steps, what to do in order to get those results, right? So, like I mentioned, we gotta break through those old habits. It's inevitable that you come back to them. And it will take some time to shift your identity, right, to the new person. Think about this. I don't want you to think about this. That's not anymore. It's not like some 6 weeks marathon or workout split that I do for 6 weeks and I'm done. Or it's like 30 days, I'm just eat healthy, call it diet. I don't even call it diet, or some crash diets, or it's nutrition. It's just nutrition. It's not a diet. We're not on a diet. Imagine if you're gonna stay on diet for 30 days and you're gonna feel miserable, and yes, let's say you lose those, 5, 10, 15 pounds in the next 30, 60 days, but feeling miserable on that diet, after that, when you go back to your old habits, you didn't build the new habits, you're gonna gain all of that weight. That's what happens with all of those, programs, those shows, when those overweight, really 300 pounds people, they trying to lose weight, they go in a program and they just have that mindset, okay, for 90 days, I'm gonna feel miserable. For 90 days, I'm gonna force myself. I'm gonna eat good. I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna lose. And they lose like a lot of weight. They lose like 50 plus pounds, like really quick, right? But look, they check the stats, on that. I check the stats on those programs. They gain, most of them, 90% of those people, 90, that's great, 90% of those people, they gain all of their weight back or even more because they didn't build the right habits. They didn't build sustainable habits in order to be that new person, to shift their identity. They're just chasing, that number on the scale, but they're not building the new identity. So here's 3 actionable steps for you, and I'm pretty sure my VIP community watching, guys, you've been killing it. I have 21-day no zero club challenge right now we're running, and you guys absolutely crushing it. Seriously, I want to tell you guys, you're amazing. Everyone in community is super supportive. Everyone posting daily. That's been a blast, seriously. It's only 1 week right now, week 1 out of 3. We have 21 day with 7 days down. It's day 8. We have 2 more weeks to go, guys. So continue crushing it. And here's exactly based on that challenge. So challenge basically about, for everyone who's watching outside of my VIP community, challenge is simply you gotta move daily for 20 minutes or more, seriously. Whether you gotta do schedule workout, in the app, or you have in my own app, right, my fitness app, or you have to move your body just for 20 minutes, whether to stretch, go for a walk, but just something. And a lot of my clients been crushing it, right? So here's 3 actionable steps what you can do in order to shift your identity. Number 1, you gotta catch your old you when it happens, right? Catch yourself, when that old you when you're trying to go back to your old habits, like, let's skip workout today, let's hang out, let's have the snack, let's have pizza again. I had pizza a couple days ago. Like, I had such a busy day, I deserve to have pizza again. When that old version, that voice, inside you telling you to go back to your old habits, you catch yourself in that moment and you say, nope, I'm shifting my identity. And I'm not falling for that old habit. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. I'll repeat it again. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. You fall to the level of your identity. You fall to the level of your standard, right? That's why I always say raise your standard. It's all about raising your standard. While you're raising your standard, you're becoming that new person, 2.0 version of you, and you're shifting your identity. So it will take some time. All right? Check, I have something here. So catch yourself, catch old version of you, right? Number 1, actionable step. This is your homework, guys. Homework for everyone who's watching. Number 1, catch your old habits, and rewrite them, redo them, like in the moment. Also, speak to yourself already. Number 2, speak to yourself already. Rewrite your identity, right? You're going to speak about this first, before you become, right? You probably heard, if you can hold it in your hands, so if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. So the same here, you got to think about it. I'm a fit person. I'm already rewriting my identity. I'm already that guy. I'm already that girl who can pull this off. I'm already, even if not there quite right now, you're still building, you're in the process, of building that person. You're already saying like, I'm that, I'm him, I'm her. I am freaking him, I'm freaking her, who can pull this off, I'm metabolically healthy and in the best shape of my life, and you just now, if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands, guys. So rewrite your identity. Put it on the sticker and keep it on your fridge, in your car, or in your mirror somewhere. That when you see it, I am him, I am her. I'm already shifting my identity. I'm a fit person. I am disciplined. Write all of that down and look at this every day. And number 3, stick to your non-negotiables. You see, that's how it works. It's funny. But this challenge, when we started 7 days ago, the challenge, it's been a game changer, seriously. I see a lot of my clients who before, would slip in a little bit, from one thing to another. They would slip in, and after that, they would skip a day, and they would be like, oh, I'll catch up tomorrow, and they don't catch up on the next day. But when they started the challenge, when you have one non-negotiable, grab me, cut out, grab me, stop, grab. You're good. Come on, buddy, relax. So, guys, like I said, sorry, Graham started distracting me. So, when you stick to your non-negotiables. Have one non-negotiable daily that you can stick to it. Whether it's going for a walk, moving your body for 20 minutes, like we're doing this challenge right now, where everyone's crushing it. Why? Because you have one non-negotiable daily that you do regardless. Before, when my clients would skip, that part, but now they do it regardless. Sometimes my clients do that, walk at 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. They still getting things done because it's a one non-negotiable. So when you treat your workouts, when you treat your movement, when you treat your nutrition as a non-negotiable, that magic will happen, because when you make it as you do it regardless. That's why it's called non-negotiable, and just pick one non-negotiable. When you do it regardless, no matter how you feel, no matter what's happening with the day, no matter how busy you are, but you stick to that one thing and you do your non-negotiable. That's why I see crazy, massive success right now with my clients in this challenge, because when you have just goal for the day, you got to do something 20 minutes daily, you do it regardless. Magic happens. You're like, oh my God, before I would skip, before I would be like, I probably can do that. That because the old version of you trying to get back to the old habits, I'll try to do tomorrow on just Monday, Tuesday, you're motivated. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're just falling off, to the back old you. But when you have one non-negotiable, you're like, all right, I have this challenge right now, I have to do it daily. So that helps to build the momentum. So when you have that non-negotiable daily, whether it's eat enough protein, stick to your protein intake, or track your food daily, or drink enough water, or go for 20 minutes daily walk, or just move 20 minutes daily. So that's when magic happens. So pick one non-negotiable, guys, and stick to it regardless. No matter how you feel. And trust me, magic happens when that non-negotiable becomes really non-negotiable. It means it happens regardless. You find the time out of nowhere. Now actually you find time, no matter how busy you are, you find the time to do the things when you said you're gonna do. You find the time, even if you're crazy busy, even if you're tired, you find the time, you still do it regardless, because it becomes non-negotiable. And the last bonus part, I think is also massive, huge, have a community. That's why I love my Modern Hero community, because when we have community around, and that's my goal, to build a strong community of people who's there always ready to level up with you and cheer you on the way. When you have strong community of people who's always looking for the next level, that's where also magic happens. Because I always say fitness can be a very lonely journey. Sometimes your parents, don't understand what you're doing. Your loved ones don't understand, your friends always like, come on, let's go hang out, let's have a drink on the weekend. That's why when you have community of the same-minded people, that makes a huge shift for you too. So here's the actionable steps, guys, right? We're wrapping this up. Like I said, number 1, catch yourself in the old habits. The old habits, you're slipping back to the old habits, it's just inevitable, man. It just happens, no matter what. It's just all about bouncy quick, catching yourself. Okay, so this is the old me. Old me would go for a pizza. Old me would sleep, on my workout, skip the workout. Old me wouldn't do stretch in the morning. Old me wouldn't drink, enough water. But new me is shifting that. New me is new identity. I'm making it happen, right? So catch yourself in the old version of you and make a flip, make a switch. Number 2, if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. So just say to yourself, start saying, I'm him, I am her, I'm that fit person, I'm that guy, I'm that girl who can pull this off. Write it down, notepad, in front of you, and keep it on your wallpaper, on your screen, on your fridge, in your car somewhere, that I'm a fit person, I'm confident, I'm disciplined. And number 3, stick to one non-negotiable daily. Have one non-negotiable regardless, whether it's a 20 minutes movement, drink enough water, sticking to your calorie goal, tracking your food, there's so many can be, and you gotta build them slowly. You cannot just, wrap all of them in one day. That's why a lot of people falling off, because they're trying to do everything in once. You're gonna build them slowly, but this is the topic for another day. All right, guys, so pick one non-negotiable, and a third one. Pick one non-negotiable and stick to that non-negotiable regardless. That's why my community is crushing it right now, challenge, because when you just have one thing to do daily and you do it regardless, magic happens. All right? So guys, and like I said, the last one, the bonus one, is have the community, have the strong community around you who dare to be on that journey with you. That is huge. That's why I'm building my Modern Hero community, because I see huge benefit from having community. That's what my community for me is like my family. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful for you. Give me the highlights, give me feedback. What did you learn from this? I hope you learned at least one thing or two from today's call. And it's time to kill the old you. Let's go, guys. Much love. I'll see you next one. Peace.